Hello, and welcome back to the Run to Remember podcast. I'm your host, Kristen Fairs, joined alongside race director Carrie Watkins. In this week's episode, hear from Lesly Vasquez, an OKC native who plans on running her first full marathon. Then we'll talk with Steve Scalzo, the 2023, 2024, and 2025 hand crank wheelchair winner. Listen as we learn more of his story and what motivates him. Finally, hear from Dan Strang with Coopah, our training app partner who believes every runner deserves world-class coaching. We caught up with Dan at Running USA to learn more about how Coopah's personalized training plans can help runners prepare for race weekend. The 2026 OKC Marathon takes place the weekend of April 24th through the 26th. Visit okcmarathon.com and sign up to run, walk, or volunteer. All right, Carrie.
We're pushing the end of April. That means, we're pushing the end of March. It means April's right around the corner.
April is right around the corner.
So we can't lose sight of all that's going on in the meaning of the month of April. But we got to get March done because the hard work's going in on the training and the planning and the organizing. And so we're excited about this. But March 31st is your deadline to get your name on the lead car. If it's on the lead car, it's going to be on a new place in the expo that you'll be excited to see.
That's exciting.
So just a couple of days away.
It's always fun at the expo.
This is your shout out to get your name.
Just go find your name on the car.
Yeah. The other thing is we're going to be close to selling out. The numbers are just keep climbing, and races around us have sold out. So we expect to sell out, and don't sit
wait.
there and wait because there will be no chances because the problem is you've ordered the medals and the shirts, and so that's why we can't just keep adding.
Right. And now at this point, you've done the bulk of your training, so you're good.
Or you should have.
Yeah, you should have.
Yeah.
This is true. All right, well, we're going to start off this morning with Lesly Vasquez. Lesly, tell us a little bit about yourself. You're going to be a first-time full marathoner this year.
Yes, God willing, hopefully. So I am 26 years old. I have a 4-year-old daughter, and that is where the majority of my time goes to. I do a lot of content creating across all my social media platforms, and I just try to make an impact and motivate people. And that's about it. I just want to make a difference in the world in the way that I can.
That's awesome. You've run the half, and now you're going to run the full. What made you jump in?
Well, life has always been really difficult, and mentally, So this is mentally and physically very challenging. I knew it would be. And the amount of people that have actually completed a full marathon is crazy to me. And I was like, I want to do that. I want to be part of that small percentage of people that have actually accomplished it and make myself proud because that was something I had never done. So I started by signing up for a 5K, and I couldn't even complete a full mile when I started. I was like, no way I'm going to do this, but I already told the world I'm going to do it, so I have to do it. And then I did my 10K. I've been doing them all with Red Coyote. So I did 5K, I did 10K, and then my half, which was last year. And I was like, wait, this was so fun. I'm actually looking forward to the full end. Now here we are, the full.
And so you found a running community, so that's part of your training.
Yes, I love it.
How's the training going?
It's hard. It's really hard, but the people, the community is what makes it not too bad. Like when we're on our long runs, we just did our first 20-miler this last weekend, which is the most I've ever ran, and I didn't think I could do it, but I did it. And along the course, especially when you're like towards the end of it and the runners are running back and everyone's kind of looping back around. It's so beautiful because everyone's like cheering each other on. And the hardest part of the entire thing is not actual race day. It's these training runs when you're alone and like nobody's watching, nobody's cheering you on, nobody's there to motivate you. It's just like you're all there focused in. And I know that I'm there battling a lot of things, and I know that there's plenty of other people that are battling their own things, but it's beautiful how we all come together as a community.
You use social media in a great way, but you show the highs and lows. Why is that important in your training?
Because similar to how life is, I feel like social media is just a highlight of people's lives, and it's not realistic, and a lot of people use that to compare their own lives and the progress of their own lives. And I feel like showing the highs and the lows makes people see like it's not always going to be easy. It's not always going to be a high. There's going to be the lows, and the lows are a crucial part to getting to the end goal.
And when you're training for a marathon, you're going to have runs that I refer to them as character building, that aren't easy, and you have the thoughts go through your head of there is maybe it's a 10-mile run.
Why am I doing this? I can't do this.
I can't run 16 more miles. I could barely get through this. Or, so I think it is helpful for other people to see they're not alone on those thoughts, and that,
Yeah, I've definitely had them.
How do you balance that with your child and balance being a mom? How do you balance all that training time it takes? It's not easy, we know.
Yeah, it's definitely not easy, but I make the time for it because I know that in order for me to be a good mom, I have to be okay with myself. I have to be happy. I'm the foundation of that. And so I want to raise her to look at her mom and see strength. And like, I look at my mom and I know that she overcame so many things, and I'm like, if she did it, I can do it. And I want my daughter to look at me in that same way. So I prioritize taking care of myself, and it definitely wouldn't be possible without my support system, like my partner watching her so I can go on these training runs, her grandma. It's not possible without
That's
them.
Incredible.
Yeah. What do you look forward to as race weekend approaches? I mean, we're getting close. What are you excited about? What are you nervous about?
I'm nervous about how hard it's going to be, because even though you're training, there's just no way it's not going to be hard. I know it's going to be mentally and physically one of the most difficult things I've ever done. So I'm nervous about that. I'm really nervous, but I'm excited to the feeling I'm going to get after I accomplish it, because I've been working towards it for 2 years. And it's always been so far away, and now I'm like, oh my gosh, it's right there. It's right around
within 30
the
days.
Yeah.
So you're running in honor of a firefighter and a first responder?
Yes, he has been with Oklahoma City Fire for 32 years. It's going to be 33 in June. And so he was there the day of the bombing memorial. It's someone that I love and I admire a lot. And because I know that this is going to be really hard and I'm going to have those thoughts of, I want to give up, I wanted to pinpoint it on someone that I love, and I could do it thinking of them when I want to give up. I feel like I'd be letting him down. And so I'm doing it to thank him for his service, because it's something that obviously impacted him very heavily. And of course, the main focus are the lives that were lost, but I really admire him.
So you'll be wearing in honor of Bib on the back that you'll get at the expo. And the thing about the marathon, and I just want to say this real quick, when the founders thought about it, they talked about the healing of our city was much like a marathon, and much for the first responders, the families, survivors, that it doesn't come quick. It's not easy. It's a grind. It's one bump and then another and a setback and push forward. And that's kind of like your training. It has been reflective of our last 31 years of coming together as a city, but it is not a sprint. And all of our healing takes time, and that's the important part. And so it's incredibly awesome that you're running in honor of a firefighter who, those men and women, they laid it all out there, and they went home, to their own families with a bit of guilt of knowing that some other people couldn't. And when you hear those stories, it's great that you're running in his honor.
Yeah, absolutely.
Must mean a lot to him.
I hope so, because when I'm having a really hard time during my runs, I think about it's a privilege that's my heart and not the heart of the impact of the day of the actual bombing. That helps push me too.
That's great.
And that's good to just kind of keep we talk often about why we run, and so you've found your
why.
After you cross that finish line, what's the message you hope that you have as you have persevered and gotten through this? What do you think? What do you hope to share with others on your social media channels?
I hope that the takeaway from it is that they believe in themselves, not necessarily in running, but just in anything, because it had to take a leap of faith for me to believe in myself, because like I said, I couldn't even run a mile, but I was like, I know that if I set my mind to it, I can do it. And so I just want to inspire people to believe in themselves and do those scary things and make themselves proud.
Very
That's
cool.
Great.
Yeah, I think you will.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, we wish you the best of luck, and
Thank you.
We'll see you at the finish
cheering
line.
you along. Yeah.
Thank
and
you.
the celebration at the finish line.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's great. It's another great story, and just you wish you want them to have such a great race and a great experience on race morning, but those come with little hiccups along the way. And love the spirit that she has and her ability to share it with others.
Yeah, it's great. Our next guest is Steve Scalzo, who is the 7-time winner and course record holder for the hand crank. Welcome, Steve.
Thank you.
7 times is amazing. The last 3 in a row Wow.
The last 3 in a row, yeah. So the first time I won it was in 2015.
Okay.
And I lost it in 2016.
We don't talk about
that part.
And then 2017 and on. So, it's
quite the accomplishment.
It's been great. Then after 2020, when we were off for a year, I thought I would get even better then, but it was okay. We had the year off.
Yeah. So what keeps you coming back? I mean, what motivates you to keep doing this and be a part of the race community and be a part of the Memorial Marathon?
Well, just what you said, this is a community, and we always say community, but this is something with a purpose. I've been to a lot of marathons, and in those marathons, there's no real purpose behind it like there is in Oklahoma City. This is exciting, it's solemn, it's fun, and it's a race. So
it's a race. You make it a race.
I'm ready to be in the race. So I really like that part of it because we have to sit there and come together with all that fun and stuff and have to remember that we're there to remember while we're running.
Right.
And I just love that part of it. In fact, coming down the finish line, since you finished that, when we changed that and put up all those banners, that's a tearful event.
Yeah.
When you come across.
Everybody talks about that.
It's just incredible. It's just incredible. That we didn't have that on the other street.
Right. There wasn't enough room. Yeah.
Yeah, the same way.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about you, Steve, and your background and how you got into rolling or running or whatever you call
hand
it.
Cycling. I never ran before.
You didn't.
I was not a runner. Anyway, I've been married for 51 years, have 2 kids and 5 grandkids. And in 2002, I was in a motocross wreck, and I broke my back. And I was really active all the time, liked to race. But once I broke my back, it introduced me to a different world, the disability world of sports. And I needed something then to stay in shape, so I started hand cycling. And actually, I think it's fairly easy.
Doesn't look easy.
Not.
Doesn't look easy at all to me.
But it's not.
I can barely get down the picture and medal on, so there's no way I can do what you're doing. But how did you even find out about it?
This race or hand cycling?
No, just hand cycling.
Well, when you first get paralyzed, you think the world is done, and you're not going to be able to do anything. But I had the fortunate experience of living next to a guy that was already paralyzed. And he did so much, my brain was already there.
Wow.
So in rehab, I asked them for everything I could get on any type of sports that I could participate in. I tried the basketball. I tried the tennis, but hand cycling is the one that got my heart pumping. And because it was a race, it was kind of like motocross. I said, let me do that. And so I started doing that. I started riding for about 30 minutes a day and thought I was really doing good. And then I got associated with Paralyzed Veterans of America. And through them, I learned that I could get some things through the Veterans Administration. And the Veterans Administration bought me the hand cycle. They convinced me to get a coach. I got a coach, Ralph Linschulten from Germany.
Oh, wow.
And he came over here and would do all the testing for VO2 max and stuff like that. I did that for 4 years. I was not real fast because I'm old. When you're 71, I can back off of that piece of it. But that started me to the Paralyzed Veterans of America to say, let's go to these races. And I was going to marathons around the country and training around the country. And I said, I got one right here, Oklahoma City. 2015, I never would have thought of running on foot, but in the hand cycle, I was ready to go.
And so being from Oklahoma, what was it like to compete in Oklahoma City the first time?
The first time was a little scary. I had been in other marathons, but this is not a slight, but we were not prepared for the disabled at that beginning part.
That's correct. We've come a long way.
So you guys have done an incredible job of doing that. But it was so exciting, but then we went out so fast that, I had to come across
intersections that weren't closed.
Oh, wow.
Because they go out a little bit ahead.
Yeah.
And the police weren't, now we've learned so much.
Oh,
Thanks to Steve.
But it was wonderful. But it was incredibly exciting, and to try to figure out just the way to run, and then to come across with the crowds, because this is so different than any other marathon I've ever been in. I've never seen the people that sit around this race course and the way they're all,
and you can hear all that.
Oh, you can hear everything. And so that part was just really exciting to me, to see so many people doing that.
What have you seen evolve the most ever since you've been doing this since 2015 in OKC?
The crowd, the costumes, that part. But the way the course is set up from the beginning, the first race that I did in 2015, it was hard to find my way. In fact, I took a couple of different routes, but it's not that way anymore. It's very clear. Split things up, half marathon, full marathon, and it made
And you do the full course.
I do the full course. Yeah, I've always done the full marathon. And it has just been incredible how that's all laid out, and especially the newer course. Once they did the newer course,
what part of the course do you find most challenging?
There are, for a paralyzed person on a hand cycle laying close to the ground, Mickey Mantle Drive is just...
going up that bridge?
But Mickey Mantle...
Because it's so bumpy?
Is the bumpiness, so you're just jittering the whole way as you're going through there. And then you have to hit Walnut.
And then you have to go up the Walnut Bridge.
And the Walnut Bridge...
I was going to ask you about that.
The Walnut Bridge is horrendous. In fact, in 2024, I was stuck in a high gear because I think it was raining that morning.
It was.
And I was stuck in a high gear, and I had to pedal up that in a high gear. I couldn't get my electronic shifting to work. And it took until Bishop McGinnis for it to start working again.
Really?
And Glenn Pemberton was behind me just the whole way, and I was like, no, you can't pass me. And finally, at Bishop McGinnis, I'm sitting there going, yep, it must be a church or something. And I clicked the button, and they started shifting. And then I took off.
Isn't that incredible?
It was incredible.
The angels were there.
But the other thing, there is another couple of courses. Let me tell you, there's two things.
So Gorilla Hill really isn't a hill after you get done Walnut Bridge and you're...
Gorilla Hill, the thing about Gorilla Hill and Classen is they're long.
Yeah.
And so on a hand cycle, it starts to wear you down when you're doing that. So that made it a little bit more difficult. I think it's Drakestone, there's speed bumps. You go through there on a hand cycle that's this high off the ground, and they have those giant speed bumps. You have to negotiate those. So that's not a nice thing either. But I will say that there's ways to do it. And I always tell the other hand cyclists, and of course the trolley tracks are horrendous, and people get stuck in those on hand cycles. But the best part, not for fans or anything, but the best part for a hand cyclist is going down Northwest Classen through Nichols Hills at 30 miles an hour. After struggling with all of this and drafting behind people or they're ahead of you, you finally get a break and you can go 30 miles an hour down there, and then you really start. We're getting to the end.
So that's one person who likes Classen.
I was going to say,
take note of this.
wow.
Not everybody likes Classen.
Not everybody likes Classen, no.
So I'm glad I'm going to use you on my side.
Yep.
Yeah, for Classen, Klassen's going up, wears you out.
Coming around the corner.
But you had just come down, and I might have misspoke.
No, Grand.
Northwest Grand.
Yeah, to Classen.
When you hit Classen, though, you know, we're going here.
Yeah.
But I got to get up Classen first. Klassen's pretty difficult to get up after a while.
It's got a little incline no one realizes until you get out
it's
there.
just kind of a slow,
So you
gradual.
look in that rearview mirror, and you're saying, I see that guy trying to come up on me, and you're trying to speed up the whole time. It gets pretty difficult, but that's when you know we're close.
We're close.
We're getting close.
Yeah, you train 5 days a week.
Yeah,
you take a
what
couple
does
of
that
days
look like?
off. What's your magic to your training?
5 days a week. Remember, I said I trained for about 30 minutes when I started coaching with Ralph. It's 3 to 4 hours a day.
Oh, wow.
So when people start to think about that, now that I'm kind of not racing around the country anymore, just here, it's at least 2 hours a day, sometimes 3. But it is intervals on Monday, recovery on Tuesday, intervals on Wednesday, off on Thursday, and then Friday and Saturday, 2 to 3 hour rides. It's about 120 miles a week. So I'll do at least a marathon a day.
Wow.
I know everybody, we're going to run a marathon. Well, but I will cycle a marathon every day, and it is important to train with somebody. So I do it on the phone we'll get a couple of people on the phone and ride. And I will lead the intervals. I'll say when you have to speed up, when you have to slow down, do all that. But it's just a habit now since 2015 to train.
And I love that you found a community, that you're leading a community of other.
The problem is I'd love to get more.
Yeah, we've got to work on that. And I think we've also added the bike guides to go out with them, and that's helped you guys.
Oh, that is tremendous.
And those guys all volunteer their time, so I just want to put a plug in for that team.
That's David Rudkin leads that, I think. But they go out. There'll be a person that rides ahead and makes sure that intersection is closed. And then they'll be right there with you as well, making sure that you're missing the tracks and stuff like that. I would like to say I did call a lady named Gabrielle Platt. She's been at the training center, the Olympic Training Center in Colorado this last year. And she lives in Tulsa, and I said, you need to come to this. I said, you'll win it. Let's just come down here. Somebody needs to win it she can do it. Somebody needs to be there other than me. She said yesterday she's going to try to make it.
Woo! Look at you, and you're bringing in somebody who you think can win, too. So that's like you're bringing some good competition.
I like Glenn as the competition, but we need more competition.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'd like to bring her in and then get Billy back into it and a few others.
So for people who are thinking about this, what's your word of encouragement and your advice?
To, just like your last guest said, to run with the community, to get somebody to do it with, otherwise you'll fade out. You will drop from what you're doing if you don't have community to do it with. Now, my community is fairly small. You only have 2 or 3 people around Oklahoma City that do hand cycles, but it's still very important to have those folks along with you.
Does the Paralyzed Veterans of America realize all you've done and what you've brought to this race?
Well, yeah.
We should focus on that with them. That'd be a great group to talk to.
We need to make sure we get them in here.
Yeah.
There's a number of races around the country, and that's when they have most of their people on the shorelines of the country, that's where they concentrate their time. So it's a little. We did bring a number of people in 2015 and 2016 from Wichita, Kansas here. And in 2018, I believe we had 11 disabled people on the starting line. When I'm talking wheelchairs, I think 3 wheelchairs, 3 or 4 racing chairs, and then 6 hand cycles. That's the most hand cycles we'd ever had on the line. And it was a great race.
Well, you've helped bring our race a long way, and you're always generous with your advice, which I take as a personal pride that he's willing to say, this can get better, and here's how you can do it. And
you have to improve. You need to know.
Like everywhere else. And we want to be accessible to everyone, and so you're a great ambassador, and we really appreciate you being here.
There's nobody that's done it like the Oklahoma City, though. I will tell you that. I've been to other ones, even after we made the thing. This is a step ahead, big time.
I'd love to hear that.
We're going to keep it up, keep making it better. Thanks, Steve, for being here.
You're welcome.
I look forward to seeing you come across that finish line.
At the finish line, that's right.
Always the first one blazing through, and oh my gosh, it just warms my heart.
Can I add one thing?
Absolutely. You can do whatever you want.
I really want somebody else to win.
Okay, well maybe Gabby's going to give you a run for your money.
Here's what I'd like to do. Because there's so much out there, I'd like to take some time and look at it as I go by. When you're racing, I am not focused on any. And I thought, it'd be nice just to look around.
Just to do it for fun.
Just to do it for fun, too. So, but I know that won't happen if I get in the starting line with those people. They're all go.
You're throwing down the gauntlet.
Nothing like competition.
Yeah, that's right.
So you're 71.
71.
Still very competitive.
July.
Isn't that incredible?
Love it.
Well, great. Thanks. We look forward to seeing you.
Best of luck. For several years, the Chickasaw Nation has partnered with the marathon as a presenting sponsor, and this year is no exception. This year, they will proudly sponsor the Quarter Marathon, introduced last year to celebrate the Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon's quarter-century anniversary.
The Chickasaw Nation supports this memorial and what it represents. This memorial needs your financial support. It's a private institution. It's one that we as Oklahomans can rely upon to help us remember this terrible event that occurred in 1995. The Chickasaw Nation supports it. It's important, but all of us as Oklahomans should do the very same.
Our final guest today is Dan Strang from our training app partner, Coopah.
Hi, we're here with Dan at Running USA. You represent Coopah, our official training partner app.
I do.
So tell me why we use an app versus going out and running with the running groups. Or do you use both?
You do use both. I think from where we stand at Coopah, what we want to do is we want to provide coaching that is going to give the best results for everybody. And an app gives flexibility for anyone, wherever they are in the world, to be able to get fully personalised training, which is going to understand their availability, understand their ability, take into account all of the different stuff that happens in training, whether you get niggles, you get ill. And we think the best way to do that is not only to give them this personalised plan, but to have coaches available that they can chat to, and they can do that at any moment.
So they can still run with the training groups on the weekend or during the weeknights, but this fills in so that if I'm traveling or working, you're kind of supplementing when I can't be with a group.
Yeah, exactly. Like everybody has very, very different requirements for training. And some of it might be, I just want to go and meet a group. I want to have that as part of my training thing. I want to train with others. I want to get motivated by them. So then we can add that into the training plan. You can then adjust stuff around it. Coaches can say, okay, we know that on Monday nights you go and meet with this group. We're not going to touch that, but we'll give you some other stuff around it that gives you that structure that you just won't get from kind of, you won't be able to do that every single night of the week.
So what's the best part of the Coopah app?
My personal favourite thing is that if I'm training for something, and I could be training for 20 weeks for this big race goal.
Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon.
I could be training to come over to Oklahoma, massive goal, big part of my life. What I want to know whether I'm going to hit that goal or not. Like, am I going to go and get my sub 4 hour marathon? I'm going to get my sub 2 half marathon. So what we do is we give you a confidence score. And that confidence score changes every single day with every single training session that you do. We tell you how likely you are to go and hit that goal. And our coaches can then go and give you some tips and some support if you're kind of lacking behind a little bit. We'll give you really honest feedback. Say what you need to do is you need to do another session this week. Or if you're
put in some more time.
Yeah, could be putting in some more time. If you're hitting the goal, then we might say, look, you can set yourself a better target. And it just keeps people on track, and it just works as a really good motivation.
Well, one thing I'm confident in is that it's not an Oklahoma accent.
Should I try one?
No, we're good.
No, okay, wait.
How does someone get the Coopah app if they want to get involved in training?
So, first thing to do would be to search on the App Store or Google Play Store for Coopah, download, sign up with your details, and remember to add the code RUN2REMEMBER, and that will give you 2 weeks free, ready for Oklahoma City Marathon.
Get busy, let's go. Thanks.
Amazing. No worries. Thanks.
All right, Carrie. So Coopah's a great partner.
Yep, you've got 30 days to put it to test here.
Exactly.
So get with it. We are wrapping up March, and we're right on. We're looking at April square in the face, so we're ready to roll.
We are ready to roll.
Great voices, great runners, great participants who are just making the very best of each day, and great, just the stories behind why they run, and also understanding the meaning of why we run. I love meeting the faces of all these folks.
I do too, and I love just being reminded, as Leslie said, of the kind of why we run behind this, especially as we get into the month of April. It's really important to have that remembrance.
It is.
Well, that was a great episode today. Join us every Friday for a new episode. Let us know your questions and tell us your running story at okcmarathon.com. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode. The Memorial Marathon takes place the weekend of April 24th through the 26th, and if you haven't already, sign up today at okcmarathon.com. This is your host, Kristen Fairs. Let's marathon.